the Jake Giffin Podcast.
So I like it. You got that sword. There's very few people that come onto this podcast. This is a fairly new. The podcast has been around for a few years. It's been mostly monologue, just me kind of ranting about different things in life, serving young men and doing that kind of thing. So it's only recently when I started taking on guests, and I gotta say, man, it's been one heck of a fun.
Yeah.
I should have done this 3 years ago. It's like talking to people is a lot more fun. Very few people show up with a sword in the background, though.
Right. And what's funny, so I'm in direct sales. I sell Cutco cutlery.
Okay.
So obviously being a knife company, one of the rewards is the sword, but it also goes with my wake up Jesus people as warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny how that kind of works out too. But yeah, I'm excited. I didn't get a chance to look too much. I know initially when I did, I looked into your podcast a little bit. Haven't got a chance to listen to anything yet, but based on what you talk about, I think we're aligned, and I'm excited to share whatever you think would be great for your audience.
Yeah,
we can talk more about it.
Let's talk about what is it, Rise Up Jesus People?
So it is Wake Up Jesus People.
Wake Up Jesus People.
Here's the little title and stuff. And
nice.
It's life-giving disciplines to awaken the warrior within.
Okay.
So it's basically morning routines, evening routines, biblical routines, and then just courage and stepping up. So I have a routine called the Sacred Start in the morning I talk about. I have a 40 Forge challenge, which is basically the Jesus version of 75 hard.
Okay.
And then, so
cool.
Got that in a journal and some other stuff. So
yeah, what spurred that? What made you do that?
God.
Okay, well that was easy enough.
Easy, yeah. I've been practicing ever since so we get more to this in the podcast too, but I basically was.
I'm recording now, so feel free to go for it.
You said you are or not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Say hi, everybody.
Hey.
This is Jason.
Yeah. But no, I had a time in my life where I was in my 20s, having fun. Almost got married to a girl and who wasn't aligned spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
We're both pretending to be someone who we weren't.
Yeah.
And as we got closer and closer to marriage, I'm like, holy cow, this is not going to work out. And she's pretending to be a Jesus person for me, and I'm sacrificing some of the morals and things that I want in my Jesus journey for her. The relationship is all based on sex and fun and partying, and almost got married. Thankfully, Jesus woke me up. And 2 months before, man, I called it off. I'm like, okay.
At least it was 2 months, man. It could have been 2 days. That would have sucked.
Yeah. I'm like, it's gonna be way easier to delay a marriage or delay a wedding than call off a marriage. So, man, that was a tough decision. And then it was a year of it was fall of 2012. And it was a year of diving back in the church, starting some morning routines, getting more disciplined again, and then really transitioning from trying to not build my own kingdom and build God's kingdom as well. So it started then. I'm like, man, these disciplines are great. These things are great. We talk about this as Jesus people, but there's not really a full program for it. And it's like, okay, you're a Jesus person, you accepted Christ, now what?
Yeah.
Well, okay, love more. Okay. Pray more. Okay. But where's the regimented probably is a bad word, but it's like, where's the structure?
It's just like,
it's not a very fun word.
This is a whole bunch of millennials all of a sudden start freaking out. Like, regimented? I'm not going to be regimented.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, no, here's some routines and some disciplines to really help. What does it look like to be a daily Jesus person? What does it look like to start your day with him? What does it look like on a weekly flow? And then, just after doing that for about a decade, I felt like God was calling me to teach more. And so a mentor of mine in church, he challenged me to start a life group. So I did. It was called Wake Up Jesus Guys. And it was an 8-week discipleship group. Went through, taught them up, coached them up. Yep. And then at the end, I would challenge them with this 40-day challenge. And it was great. A lot of fruit from it for a couple of years. And I thought, man, how can I get this more than just the 10 to 20 guys I can gather for an 8-week life group a few times a year? So then that's where the birth of the book, the journal, and the 40 Forge program came from.
Man, what was that, 13 years ago?
Yeah, 2012.
So when you were almost getting married, at that time, leading up to the marriage, you and the fiance would have been professing Christians, or no?
Yeah, I for sure was, but I was a Sunday Christian.
Okay.
I was say God's my priority, but he really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Work was my number one priority. Work was my God, and it was partying the rest of the week, and then being a little tired and hungover on Sunday, but making it to church, and then loving him, reconnecting, and then Monday back to the grind, and the rest of the week back to fun until Sunday hit again. So it was really a 1 foot in the world, 1 foot out in my 20s.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like 3/4 of your body in the world and like one toe.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
You're like a Christian on Sundays. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's like that's not even a 50-50 split. It's so what changed, dude? I mean, something obviously, kind of was like, I'm not doing this right.
Yeah. Well, there were a few moments. So the one was the one I just shared with you, when going through trying to, chase accolades, chase fun, chase all that. So then was a wake-up call. I had to reassess what I was doing. And when I called off that wedding, it was more focused on me, focused on church, focused on develop myself and my Jesus journey. So then it was more about, okay, now really being a Jesus guy, but I still had the workaholism. I still had the chasing my own kingdom, building my own empire. And then, God kind of woke me up when COVID hit. And also I had two kids, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old now. So both boys. And that really changed my heart and changed my, why am I grinding so much? Why am I working so much? Why am I doing that in place of being with my family? So that was a big wake-up call there. And I started getting better, but I'd say, Jake, just like 2 years ago is when it got real serious and God actually became number one. When I got a demotion, I kind of asked for it. I got a demotion in work, and I wasn't as good as I thought I was. I was so stressed and so worried, and I was numbing myself for like really 20 years with either like a weed gummy or a couple of drinks a night, 5 or 6 nights a week. And it was just something I just went to like numb myself and turn off work to be present with the family. So that was a big wake up call. Man, this is not good. These are not good tendencies. I'm hiding this from my wife. This is more of an issue than I think it is. And why am I doing this? And it was, again, I was chasing my own kingdom instead of his. So I'd say finally, Jake, that wake up call was, again, 2 years ago when I stopped all that. I got rebaptized and then really started chasing his kingdom instead of my own. Yeah.
Well, that's John Calvin, I think it's said at some point that our hearts are idol factories. We want to do it ourselves. Let me do it myself. I'm going to make this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get comfort from alcohol or drugs or sex or whatever else, and then instead of from him, we just make an idol and we bow down to it, and that seems easier than actually serving the creator of the universe.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And what's funny is a lot of people don't think they have idols, and they think back in the day of Bible times of, I don't have any golden calves. I don't have any idols, but their Instagram or their likes or their titles or their net worth or their promotions or their, we have these idols that we definitely have. And we keep in the Bible, it's constant. They kept messing up. They kept, throughout all the Old Testament, it's always this king followed after God, this king didn't, and this back and forth, like every single king and judge and leader back and forth. It's like, we're searching for those idols and we keep going to other things instead of Christ. Yeah.
It's what would you say what you're encountering in your men's group and the guys that you've been discipling over the last several years? What would you say is the biggest challenge that they're facing right now?
Yeah, I would say that they're not enough.
They feel like they're not enough.
I feel like they're not enough. I feel like they're getting beat down by the world. They're being, what's a good way of saying it? They're being wussified, if you will. They are.
That's facts.
Yeah. They're beat down. They're looking and scrolling at everything else, thinking they're not enough. They don't have enough. They're not following Jesus, so all their identity comes in their own ability instead of God's ability. They forget they're a child of God. They're made wonderfully, and we all have our own struggles. But I think it comes from, when I notice it, it's the reliance on substances or the pornography or the playing video games all day instead of being a good leader or a good husband or a good father, is that they don't feel like they're enough or they're capable. So therefore they just give up and succumb to these temptations.
It's like sometimes somewhat when you're on defense all the time. Those are nice ways of escaping.
Yeah.
How far can you be backed into a corner and intimidated and beat up,
Right.
and then you find video games or drugs or whatever, and you're like,
Right.
oh, okay, at least I can escape for a little bit of time.
Exactly.
When really they should be, they don't want to pray, they don't want to read, because those are spiritual disciplines.
Yep.
Connecting to the Father of spirits, to Creator of the universe, that's where you should run, but sin deceives them into not doing that.
Yeah, and sin seems way more fun in the moment, and it seems way more exciting to do than go pray or read the Bible or listen to worship music. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there is a deception to it, right? When it's like, I think you said something about not just the gummies, but to take the edge off or whatever it was, and it's like those little lies that sin tells us.
Yep.
To keep us hooked.
Yep.
Hey man, it's not that big a deal. You're just taking the edge off. You're just, you're just coping. You're just stressed out, dude. You've been working hard.
Yep.
You're like, and God's going, yeah, you've been working hard. So seek me first.
Yep.
Right? My yoke is easy, my burden is light.
Yep.
Like, why are you so? Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Tell me what you think of this, because I was thinking, several weeks ago now, as you talk to a lot of men, and it's like they always think, oh, well, I thought this Christian life would be easier, right? And they go, well, Jesus said my yoke is easy and my burden is light. How come it doesn't seem easy nor light? And then it dawned on me that maybe what we're trying to do in those moments is stuff that Jesus doesn't want to do. Yokes are there to keep us in step with cutting the straight line. And when we decide we want to run off and do our own thing, stuff that Jesus doesn't want to do, then we're like, gosh, why is this so hard? You're like, dude, just submit.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want you getting drunk. He doesn't want you doing whatever licentiousness you're thinking about doing so you can escape, right? He doesn't want you doing that. And then you're pretending like you're a believer, or you are, and you're just, trapped in some weird pattern. And yeah, of course it's not easy. It's not easy because you're fighting the universe. You're fighting the God of the universe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how long can you fight him before, of course you're tired.
Yeah, right.
He wins that.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be here. Like, this is we're visitors. We're citizens of heaven, right? So it's like, we're not designed for this. We're designed for Eden. We're designed for heaven. We were designed for this perfected kingdom that God designed for us. We messed it up. And like, sin just gets us, and this is where the devil wants us, distracted, pleasures, filling our own void, chasing idols. And it's tough. It's tough because we're not designed for this, and that's why we need to level up. We need to wake up and build this kingdom.
Yeah, we're not designed for this with sin. I mean, we were placed here in the Garden of Eden. It's like you said, to dominate and subdue it. And things were going to get hard. It's not like, like things weren't going to get difficult because there was no sin. I'm sure God was going to put Adam through some paces and things were going to get difficult. I mean, I don't know. How hard is it to name all the animals? It's got to be taxing at some level. You're just like, okay, there's another one, dude. Where did that one come from? I don't know I don't know what to call that one. It's got a big long neck. I'm gonna call it a giraffe. All right, so a giraffe. All right, fine, whatever. It's a giraffe then. But things were gonna get hard. It wasn't until sin came into the picture that things became utterly difficult and our affections got divided. So what are when you have a guy that's, now you have a story about it because you came out of it yourself. You've met guys that are going through similar things that you went through. What's your encouragement to them?
Yeah, my encouragement would be, I'd take them through their own heaven and hell. So it might not be encouragement at first, but I would, for a little oomph, a little motivation is, hey, the hell of your future is, what does it look like if you stay out of the Bible, you continue not to pray, you continue to stay out of the gym and the workouts and the church and that, like, what's the trajectory of your life right now? How good of a father and husband and person are you going to be? Are you going to keep your job? Yeah. What's the worst case scenario? So that's the pain part of it. And then the pleasure is, but what if you get in the gym, you get consistent, you make Jesus the foundation of your life and the start to every day, and you have this great Jesus community, and who are you for your kids and your wife, and what's this heaven on earth situation for you? So make a choice. It's all about choices, and there's tons of great models out there. No one's perfect, right? There's tons of great models of Jesus people doing their best, and just God laid it out in the Bible as well. Like, just follow that, see what happens, watch the fruit that comes from it, and see how you feel. Like, ever since I stopped chasing my own kingdom and stopped numbing myself and really gave it up to God, it's been so much peace and joy. And sure enough, in business, we had our best year ever last year in 2024, and we're having our best year ever here in 2025. What do you know?
Yeah.
I finally submitted. And thanks God,
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah, and even if it weren't the best in business, you'd still have the peace and you would still have the joy.
Yeah.
Because that's what that is the results of walking in the Spirit. That's Galatians 5. Galatians 5 is the apex cornerstone passage that I run to every time. I run into either my own issues or my own conditions that I'm creating, negative dissension, factions, envying, anger, frustration, impatience. I go, I know what that is. That's me. I'm in some place in my life, I'm operating as though I'm in the flesh, and I'm not. I'm of the Spirit, and I need to start walking. And then you walk in the Spirit, and voila. It's more love, it's more joy, it's more peace and patience. It's like, no kidding. You would think that God knew what he was doing when he invented the brain. Right? It's so funny how we make things up on it. We just go, I'll do it, man. I know how to solve this tension thing. I'm just gonna drink some vodka or something.
Yep.
There you go. Yep. That helps for a minute. But the end of it is that you destroyed your, it only leads to bigger problems. So what's your future look like with this movement?
Yeah.
I imagine you're building a movement. It's not just a book, right?
It's a movement. Yeah. It's a movement. It looks like this. This is my plan. Surrender. Open hands. See what happens. It's not up to me, right? It's like, God's put this on my heart. I've been practicing this stuff for 12 years, a while, and he's given me these experiences and disciplines and talents that, all right, use it, God. It's all for your sake. So for me, whether it blows up or not isn't that big of a deal. It's that it's done. So hey, if it's a legacy piece for my kids, and it's the way I think you should live life as a warrior for Christ, great. Yeah. My kids have it. My intermediate family has it. Great. Awesome. If it impacts millions of people, awesome as well.
Yeah.
But right now I'm doing a lot. So my wife and I lead our young adults ministry at church. I'm a direct sales guy here is my full-time job. We're moving out on August 18th, driving out to Seattle to help start a church, which is a big thing.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a total God thing, total faith thing. So with the book and the journal and the 44, it's just how can I just be used, whether it's through podcasts or speaking or coaching, just to like help people, because it is simple, but it's sometimes they just need that wake up call. So I don't know how it looks. I don't know if there's books flying off the shelves or what it is, but I really think the 40 Forge program is going to be impactful, and I'm running that 6 times a year. I'm excited to level people up that way and for it to change their identity and change who they are. And the journal is the support piece of it. The book is the credibility and the jump start to it. But man, if 1 million people can go through 75 hard and Jesus is not the center, let's see what God can do with something like this and leveling people up and actually making him number one in their life. Yeah. And having some mental disciplines and physical disciplines besides spiritual, because it all goes together, right? Like think about if you're not healthy mentally and physically, it doesn't matter how great of a husband, father, leader you are if you're sick. Or if you die 10 years younger than you should have, think about the impact of all the greats, all the Christian greats you think about. Sure. If they had an extra 10 years of life. And I know some of them ended because of unfortunate circumstances and some were health, but think about what that does to their legacy, to their church, to their family. Yeah. What if every great Jesus person lives an extra 10 years on this earth? That's impactful.
Yeah. I mean, well, and the opposite's impactful too. Is all the watered down, weak ass Christian people that they die early. Yeah. Right. So they don't infect the rest of us. Yeah. It's it's like Paul said. Paul said, avoid the idol. You're like, avoid the idol, because the idol people will bring you down. Yeah. But it's when you're talking about legacy. The sad thing is, I remember. I don't know if you're familiar with Ravi Zacharias. Ravi Zacharias was a well-known world-traveling apologist out of England, wherever that. He's Indian, but what is that university in England? Somebody listening to this. Oxford. Thank you. Yeah. So he out of Oxford. Brilliant guy. Loved Ravi Zacharias. Loved him for a long time. And then he dies, and all the skeletons fall out of the closet. And you're like, God bless, man. Like, nothing can destroy your legacy more than when you're playing the fool in the dark, hoping, when you're leaning up against the very closet you're hiding your skeletons in. And then you die and they all come pouring out, and you're like, you just suffered, traveled, proclaiming Christ for 40 years, all to have it burn up because you couldn't control yourself sexually. Yeah. It's so weird. Like, and that is the story of a lot of Christian men's lives. I mean, it's what you're working on now is readdressing their identity. That, and I've talked to a lot of guys about this we're going to teach you all the behaviors of a Christian. We're going to teach you how to pray. We're going to teach you how to serve. We're going to teach you how to share your faith, go to church, do all these things. And right. So if he doesn't want
finding a lease, doing what they can, and here we were in this Beyond group of like a handful of couples, like that we kind of raised our hand of, hey, we're open to this. We hear the vision. Our like tagline for the church is bringing a life-giving message of Jesus to the 920, our area code, the 920 and beyond. Yeah. So with this Beyond crew, they're like, who's open to, God unveiled this to us, who's open to it? So wife and I were like, I think we are. And then it was like a year of preparing, and then there were crickets. And we're like, okay, is this still happening? And my wife and I were born and raised in Wisconsin, thought we'd be here our whole life. we have a great life here. We're very blessed here. And so it's pretty bittersweet. But then I thought I was Abraham. I thought we were like, all right, God, you trusted us. We were going to sacrifice the son, but we didn't. So, hey, you can trust us. And all of a sudden, earlier this year, they're like, hey, guess what? We got a call back. We got a lease. Are you guys in? We're like, holy crap. So we prayed and fasted, and we went out to Seattle to get feet on the ground again, and went to the outskirts a little bit more. And we're like, yeah, this is great. We can do this. So I also had to think, man, all the stories in the Bible of faith and literally life or death and things way harder than moving up to a nice area in the Pacific Northwest to help start a church that we already love. Right. We already know we're just planting a Pacific Northwest version of it. Right. Who are we? Like, why can't we do this? Are we going to put our money where our mouth is? Like, do we really believe? Do we really trust God? So I'd say when we started this, and it got real like 5 months ago, I'd say, Jake, we were at like 5% excited and expectant and 95% holy crap. Yeah. And then now it's like 2 weeks out of moving and driving out there. Yeah. We're like 5%. We're really doing this? This is crazy. And 95%, let's go. Let's see what God's got in store. He's not calling us out there for the heck of it. You know, it's going to be exciting. See what happens.
I mean, you're definitely right in the sense that it's not like Abraham. I mean, you're not traveling by donkeys and fighting marauders. Right. You know, it's you're going from one first world city to another first world city where they have where Starbucks was invented, and you know, and it rains a lot, but that's not much different than what you're used to. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Anyway, how many people are going?
Well, really, like fully moving out there, just my wife and I. My wife is a pastor. Okay. And so she'll be a pastor out there with them. And then the two main pastors, Sean and Sonny, are already, like they're actually living out there.
They're actually there. You guys are going out there to meet them. And then start right from some leased building.
Yep, from scratch. What's cool, the way God works is it's actually on a campus, Northwest University, which is a ministry school of 600 to 1,000 students. So look at God when here we have these visions of like going to other cities and being a church planting situation. And what do you know? We're actually going to be on a campus of ministry students. That seems like a good situation. Yeah. So again, we'll see what God does with it. We're very excited and expectant. But again, hands open. All right, God, show us what's next.
I mean, that's where the adventure is.
It is, yeah. And it's like a fun family adventure. Like worst case scenario,
sure,
we come back in a year or two, or maybe we're meant to go to other cities, or maybe we're there for the rest of our life. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I've been part of 3 church plants, and I'm still licking the wounds from the last one. So, you know,
there's risk.
Prayerful.
Yes,
you know what I mean. It's prayerful. It's the work. What is the gospel?
What is the gospel? Yeah, it's love God and love people. We're here for a moment, for 100 years, if that, to spread the love of Jesus and let people know that he died for us, and that God-shaped hole that everyone has in their heart, they're all trying to fill with idols, and everything else isn't working. So follow Jesus, follow his ways. There's so much. I'm like so blessed. I just think about it most days. We have so many awesome like resources now with YouTube videos and podcasts and movies and TV series about God and music and worship. It's like, man, we're so blessed now, because I just think even like 100 years ago, you didn't have all that as a Christian. You didn't have these well-known people professing their faith, or seeing sports, phenom, famous people give glory to God in a press conference. So that is
Hold
cool
on one
now.
second, Jason.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to edit that out when.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah. So celebrities giving glory to God.
Yeah. It's cool because you can feed off that. It gives you a little bit of a motivation as a Jesus person too, to see some people that are very bold laying it all out there in front of tons of people, and why, who are we not to go tell our neighbor or to put up a little Facebook post or something about God?
Yeah.
And that. So yeah, spreading the gospel can be scary, but I mean, it's what we're here for. Like we're just visiting. We're going to be up in heaven. It's how many souls are going to be up in heaven because of you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, did I articulate the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ well enough?
Yeah.
Did they count the costs? Did repentance really happen?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's not for us to judge. I mean,
Right.
To articulate the gospel, clearly is both in our life, like you said, it's like love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, love people as ourselves. And we do that by expressing that Jesus, people can trivialize this. It's it becomes kind of old hat. Like they go, oh yeah, he died, he was buried, he rose. Right, but he's God, so what's it matter, right? It's like, and you go, what's it matter? Like he created the universe. The one who never knew what death was or never experienced death died, right? Like he never experienced what it was like to not have relationship with the Father. He's always from eternity past been in that relationship, and he was separated from the Father. Like that, he never experienced that before.
Yeah.
He never experienced what sin was. He didn't even know what temptation was until he became one of us, and he would, and then he sympathized with us in every way, being tempted as we are, yet without sin. And you go, he didn't know what temptation was before he dressed up like one of us, and then when he went to the cross, he became the very thing that he hated, so that we could be his righteousness. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the crazy kind of love, man. That you can't, that in itself is like, what right do we even have to step into that presence? We have no right. We have no right to question it. We have no right to step into his presence, and yet he gives us that right.
Right.
It's really amazing that even I, and not even I, God, I hate it when people say that. But we fall into these, we still sin.
Yep.
But when you have the gospel front of mind, it's so much easier to avoid those sins.
Yeah.
Right? You shut it up into the closet where you keep all the skeletons, and it's easy.
Yep. Yeah.
But if you're constantly meditating on it, then it becomes easier to be like, well, no, of course I'm not going to get drunk. I'm just going to ask God for the peace that I know he wants to give me.
Yeah. Have you seen these guys, little Jesuses? You see them?
No, I've never seen them. No.
Dude, these are great.
Where are those, Lego?
Jesus loves you on them. You can get like 50 a pop, like at a time. And so to have these, I kind of put these around the house. So my kids see them, I see them. So it's like, one, God's always with you, but he's also always with you. It's your choices. But also these are fun to like drop in, at the gas station or Starbucks, or if someone's having a bad day, here's what you need? A little Jesus.
Dude, you put little parachutes on those guys and drop them from a 20-story building in Seattle.
So great, yeah. And what's fun, I've made a habit that when I go visit people for the first time, I hide these in their house. Like at least 3 or 4 of them, and then they're like, "What's going on?" And then when they ask how many I put, I usually tell them, Jesus had 12 disciples, right? So how many have you found? Well, you might have to find some more. I actually had a friend from church. I was at their house. He has 2 daughters. This was one of the funniest examples of using these. I hid them around. Of course, the classic one is always in the bathroom because it's an easy one to hide.
Of course.
And they were getting ready for church. He was in the other room across the house, and he heard his daughter yelling, "Daddy, I see Jesus." He's like, "What?" And they're like rushed for church, and she's like, "No, Daddy, Jesus, I see him." He's like, "Oh, sure, honey, okay." And she's like, no, he's here. I can see him. He's with me. And he's like, yeah, I get it. Jesus is always with you. She's like, no, I literally am looking at him right now. And then he goes in and he sees the little Jesus.
Oh my God, that is
I got
funny.
you good. Yeah, those are fun.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's thinking, oh my gosh, my daughter's
Yes.
either having a stroke or we're going to be
Yes.
really
Right.
rich. You know?
Yeah.
We're gonna have. I see his face. It's in the toast. We just made a burrito, and there it is, right there on the tortilla.
Yep.
You know, but no, that's funny. So you hide 12 of them for people to find.
I hide 3. My typical is 3 because
Okay.
then I also play games with them. Like, how many have you found? Only 3? Well, all right, keep looking. They're like always looking. I usually end up telling them.
That's mean. That's mean. That's you got little kids running around the house looking for 9 more disciples. Yeah. Can't find them. Disciples are lost.
Yeah.
We can't get them.
Yeah.
It's I thought you
Just
were
a great hider.
I thought you were a super sweet guy up until just now, and then you just no, just teasing.
Oh no. Yeah.
That is awesome. That's the church planting is the work of love, man.
Yeah.
And it's good that you have it's good that you have the 3 other people that are going to be with you. Because that's going to
Yeah, I feel very blessed with that. There's already some feet in the ground. There's already some connections out there. It's been really cool to see it coming together. And yeah, I give, like, doing this already. Now we haven't actually gone out there yet, but even just thinking about all the work that goes into it. And I just can't imagine those pastors that go to a random small town to start a church. They have no connections. They have nothing. And they're literally moving their whole family out there. It's just, wow, like the work of doing God's work. I mean, that is very impressive. And we're not doing anything like that, right? So it's not like, it's still scary and it's still a big deal, but it's like there's enough help and enough connections, enough momentum there that, it's going to be tough, but it's not like starting it from brand new scratch with just my wife and I and just going out there and just like, all right, everyone, please come to our little church of 10 people in a town of, 200 or something. So but the harvest is plenty. Gotta get out there.
It's just that you go out there and you share the gospel. It's just that there's that's whatever the results.
Right.
It doesn't. If people get saved, that's what matters. Whether it grows into a thriving big church or not. I mean, you're definitely doing it the hard way for a big church. If that's the hope, right? That you are definitely doing it the hard way. My pastor will listen to this podcast and he will wholeheartedly agree. That is the hardest way to plant a church. You are doing it, but kudos to you guys for having the courage and the spiritual wherewithal to tackle Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
With the gospel, and if you make it out to LA, that might even be harder ground because there's churches on every corner, and they've been it's a real mess. LA's a mess anyway, but don't get me started on that. But.
Right.
Now, how come you didn't just not that you guys are going where God's telling you to go?
Yeah.
So, far be it for me to question what God's doing, but you got Green Bay. Where you're at, I'm sure there's other cities in Wisconsin.
Sure.
Why not? Why not go there?
Yeah, it's the passion from our pastors for those 5 cities. It is the visions from my wife that she's received, and it is just the confirmation of what God has been doing in our lives the last 2 years that makes sense. That we're not meant to be here. It's too simple. Well, it's too simple. It's that we know what we're going to get. We're very blessed. We're here. We have some great things already going personally in the church, with life. And for us to almost like God did to challenge us and level us up, if you will.
Sure.
This is going to shake it up for sure. And I told my wife the last year even, like, I just feel comfortable. I feel like God's been working on us, but we're comfortable. And we could live this way easily, be comfortable, but there hasn't, we need that. I feel like God's gonna shake something up, and I feel like he's just preparing us for the storm and for the challenge. He's been doing a lot to sanctify both of us and prepare us for this journey. So it's like he wouldn't do all of that to have us just stay where we're at. So I think that's why.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun adventure.
There's no question about it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It might hurt a little. It might hurt a lot.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Whatever.
And the fun thing for me, I feel, is there's less pressure for me, at least, just because of I have my main job that I'm able to do out there virtually. I have my passions with the 40 Forge and the journal and the book. And it's like, also, I feel like, okay, God, is there a way I can connect with other business people out there, other people, and help them in that area? And then use that to almost be like a calling card into the church potentially, or for online ministry or something. But again, I'm not credentialed. I'm not a pastor. I'm just a Jesus guy that's passionate about leveling up Jesus people and just being whatever help I can be.
Just being a Jesus guy is all that matters. I mean, look, so you don't have to have credentials to grow a business that's a ministry. Right. I mean, I talked to a guy earlier today. We're talking about how businesses are ministries. They are part of the, it is, the compartmentalization that we've done where, this guy's in full-time ministry and I'm an entrepreneur or I'm a salesman or whatever. It's like, I'm in ministry, man. I'm a salesman I'm in sales to my core. I own my own business, which I'm fortunate to have. And it's a ministry to the people who call on us. And that's how we treat it. So if we're gonna influence the world with the gospel and live kingdom lives, then the kingdom lives permeates everything that we do.
Yeah. If every business was led by a Christian CEO, the world would look much different. For right? Sure. I feel like he's developed certain people, or people have taken the challenge to take that on, and it is a great mission field. People are listening to you as the boss typically, and the CEO a little bit more. And if you can be the seed plant for Jesus, or have worship music playing, or have that one-on-one conversation with them, and God's got you there for a reason. Yeah. And it's great when you can really see that as your mission field. I know for me, for like a decade, I said it was my mission field just to justify when it really wasn't. I was still trying to build my own kingdom, but for sure, it's God has you there for a reason. So to the listeners, it's like, what can you do where you're at? He has you there for this season for a reason. Yeah. Maybe put little Jesuses around.
Put little Jesuses around. You can be totally anonymous, and they're cute as heck. So, at some point, somebody's going to ask what they're about. It's like you go to a workplace, you go to just about any workplace in America on a Monday or a Tuesday, and there's very few people ashamed of the fact that they spent the whole weekend partying and getting stupid, and they come to work and they tell everybody about it. But as soon as you bring up church or you bring up Jesus, everybody's aghast with disappointment. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you talk about that here. You're like, you just talked about doing LSD on some stripper boat in the Pacific. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. Why like you're offended by the fact that I went out and baptized people, and you went out and did blow and was at some rave in LA somewhere. You're like, why do you get to talk about your thing and I can't talk about my thing?
Yep.
It's like, just be unashamed, be Jesus people. So, in parting, what's your encouragement to Christian men, man? Throw it out there, give it all. What is it?
For Christian men, if you're unhappy and you're unfulfilled, that's your choice and your doing. Because if you really are treating your life as Jesus is first, I just encourage you. I've done, I've chased my own kingdom for a long time. And when I actually made him a priority, it was just a choice. When I started waking up every morning with intention to spend time with him and get myself right so I can be my best self for everyone else I'm leading, including my family, things really changed. And so even with the morning routines and that, until I actually truly put God number one instead of work, man, that stress and that worry and that anxiety and put it all on my shoulders, it's just too much. God did not design that. Like you're not meant to do it alone. You're meant to rely on him. And when you do that, I'm not saying he's going to bless you, but there sure are better chances if you're following his guidance, his discipline. And if you're feeling like you're not enough, if you're feeling like you can't make it, like rely on him, because he will give you the encouragement you need and the courage you need. There's just some simple choices and simple switches. They're not going to be easy, but there's some simple, just a few things that are probably holding you up that are your chains that the devil has you and is holding you back because he knows you're going to be forced to reckon with in God's kingdom if you're let loose. And he's got you distracted with your pleasures, your social media scrolling, your golf and your hunting, all that stuff. None of the, some of this stuff isn't bad, but when it is an idol, okay, when it is an idol, well, that's when it becomes a problem. So worship God, not other idols, and watch the peace and joy that come from it.
Amen. Yeah, and go, for goodness sakes, get the book. And we're gonna put everything in the show notes, all your contacts and stuff in the show notes. Thanks, awesome. Jason, for being here, man, reaching out. It was a great conversation. I look forward to hearing what God does with you guys in Seattle. That's gonna be nuts. Maybe we can do a catch up totally. Cast here, and then
1 year from now, how's the church?
1 year from now, how's the church? How's ministry? How far is the gospel reaching out?
Yep.
You'll send me your links wherever I can send people to get the book.
Yeah.
Connect with you on social and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty much on social, just my name, Jason Heinritz. All this stuff is on Amazon, the book and the journal, but the links to a lot of that stuff is at wakeupjesuspeople.com. But yeah, it'll all be in the show notes.
Sounds great. Hey, Thanks, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Talk to you soon.
If you enjoyed this show, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. For more information about Jake, log on to jakegiffin.com and find him on all social media platforms. Until next time, peace and power be yours.